Hey everyone, Mike from Kellerman Point Farm. Welcome to today. Still wet. Just fed the turkeys and the chickens and the pigs. Now I'm walking to the broilers. Normally I ride the four-wheeler. It died yesterday. I gotta fix it. We were riding around on the pasture and it cut out. Probably a fuel issue. I didn't feel like fixing it last night, so I'm gonna have to go out there this morning in the wet. Yep. Oh well. What can you do? Let's go check on these baby chicks today. They're getting big. I'll flip you around. Hang on. Hi. So I think I got them trained to the noise of the four-wheeler, because when they hear that and they hear me coming, they come running. Kind of surprised them this morning because I'm on foot. But you can see there's almost 60 birds. They're all crammed up here because they're hungry and they want to be fed. They're in about less than half of the coop here, so they have more than enough room. Alright, I'm going to feed them. I have nothing to put this down on, so to watch. We'll do that next time. Alright. Walking to get the four-wheeler. It's easier to go the road. It's not as wet. Fun stuff. We'll see what happens. There it is. Nobody stole it. Of course, you'd have to know where it's at. Hear my boots squeaking? It's because they're wet. I don't know what happened. Yeah. I don't know if a loose battery terminal will make the ATV shut off randomly. Well, I took the seat off and the terminal was loose and I tightened it. Seems like it's working. But in order to take the seat off, I have this back rack on here, farmer style. Hose clamps. It works. But you gotta loosen those to get the basket off, to get the seat off. I don't know if this is having fuel issues because it was just dying. It was on and running and then it would just kind of cut off. Or if it was at a low idle, it would cut off too. So I'm gonna see if there's a fuel filter on it and if that's all gunked up. Random farmer tip: when you are not a mechanic and you get something running and it runs for a minute, don't touch the exhaust pipe. Don't ask me how I know that. Just don't touch it. Lovely. Yeah, I don't have a screw tap. We're gonna try some farm stuff. See if we can't get that out. This is the brake for the brakes. I need to add brake fluid. I don't even know if I have brake fluid. Yeah, we're about to find out. Amerigo! Well, it ran. I opened it up a little bit, and we're having trouble with it dying when it's in lower gears. So we'll be in first gear. When I start slowing down, it'll just cut off. I don't know if it's bad gas. It might be. I'm going to have to go out and get some new gas. Probably going to drain the tank and put new gas in and see what happens. It almost seems like it's not getting enough fuel when it's idling. I don't know if any of my friends that have ATVs that watch this, if you have my messenger, message me. Maybe you have an answer for those issues. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. just doing farm fixes. You guys want to see my wood? You thought something else, didn't you? You guys are sick. Hey, John! Hey! Would it be a good idea to stack some wood today?
I think we need to stack wood.
All right, let's get some wood done. What did we go through? 11 cords of firewood last year? Almost 12. Almost 12. We have a wood-burning boiler that heats the house. There's a firebox that heats a jacketed water out around it. That hot water goes in the house, goes around the coils. The blower pushes that hot air, or like the heat from the coils, through the house, and then that's how we heat our house. We do have propane, but I don't want to burn propane because propane's expensive right now, and so we burn wood. We'll get the firewood from the parks, so it's awesome. He just puts the logs down over there. Maybe I'll call him and see if we can get some more wood. So we're gonna start doing our firewood now. It's July. I like to have at least half the wood we need going into the winter, and then by the August, September, I'd like to have the rest of it at least here, split and stacked. That way we know how much we have and we're not scrambling. I hate splitting wood in the wintertime. We had to this year because we went through a lot of wood. The house is from 1875, so there's a lot of leaks. Yep, so we're gonna be stacking some wood today. Yeehaw. Would it be appropriate to make a lot of wood jokes?
Sure.
Would people get offended by that?
Wood.
They would?
We got wood.
Oh well, we got wood. The way we measure cordwood in Ohio, it's a little different in every state. We go 4 foot high by 16 foot across. That's 1 full cord. Some people call that face cord. It varies from region to region, but here a full cord is 4 foot high by 16 feet across. Doesn't matter how you stack it. If it's 8 foot and then you got 2 rows, 4 foot high. Ideally, the log length will be 16 inches. We have random log lengths here. Our boiler is big, so we can fit a 22-inch log, and some of this is 22 inches, and we're not so precise anymore. So going off a feel, it's like Bigfoot. Going off a feel and roughly what we need, that's what we're gonna do. So our aim this year is probably to get 12 split and stacked. Last year we had a problem coming over to the barn because our house is across the road. We would load the wood up on this trailer over here. That's called our wood trailer. And we have the small tractor pulling it across. We had a problem getting the tractor and the trailer empty over here to get the wood. Mr. John had to drive his truck in 4-wheel drive just to make tracks so we could get it. It's just because of the ice, and it was so light. So this year what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 cords of wood over by the house and by the boiler, and I'll show you that later. Just when we can't get over here with everything because of snow. I think we had, how many inches of snow do we have at that one? It was like 12 or 13 inches.
Yeah, we had a lot over here.
Yeah, and it was caked in ice. And
Got the ice on top.
yeah, so it was horrible. Well, we learned from that mistake. And this is what we're going to do this year. We're going to put wood over there and wood over here, and should be good to go. So 12 is our goal. We'll see how much we have right now. He's working and I'm not.
Yeah, it's not new.
Don't listen. He shows up at like noon, and then he leaves at like 3. I don't know what he's talking about. That's all right. He works another job. Hey, John, your wood's showing.
My wife doesn't mind.
Oh, you didn't hear that. I don't have a microphone. Just made a joke. I moved 2 logs and I got something to say, and he's still going. But you see here, it grew over with weeds. This is actually jewel weed, and the jewel weed's good for poison ivy. If you have poison ivy, what you do is come up to a stalk of jewel weed, bust it open. You see that sap? You rub that on yourself, and it helps poison ivy go away. We've only had it a few times this year, right? Poison ivy, not as bad as last year.
Like last year. But we can see this stuff now. We're not cutting the weeds, that it's all intertwined.
Exactly. But anyway, with your wood, when you stack it, I weed whacked over here. But you see these boards? Don't put your wood on the ground. If you store your wood on the ground, it's always going to stay wet, and it's going to rot and mold, and you're not going to get a good fire. So always put your firewood on something. And I think we have 11 rows over here, actually, all waiting for us. It's just underneath the grass. But as time goes on, and that's why we're doing it now, because this pile's been sitting for a little bit and it's still real wet. That air is going to come up and get underneath it and get inside the wood pile and start drying the logs. You don't want to burn wet logs or green wood, because if you do that, it's going to smolder, it might not catch, and you're just not going to have a good hot fire. That's not the goal. So the goal is to raise it up a little bit, dry your wood, season it. Depends on what wood and how long it's been cut. Depends how long it takes to season. The more dense woods that we have here, hickory, oak, maple, those will take 6 months to a year to dry. So we like to split it as we get it. That's our log pile. On the left there is spruce, pine, and on the right is hickory. Those are big knotty pines. Luckily I have a big saw that will cut right through there. I just got to sharpen the chains. But this is the beginning. Would it be out of taste to keep making wood jokes?
You got a lot of wood to move.
So by request, this joke is from Michelle. Like his good hardwood there, Michelle? I don't know if I could keep this in here or not. In actuality, we do have a lot of hardwood in here. Maple, oak, hickory. I don't have any locusts. That's probably the hardest. Yeah, he is working, and you don't understand. This might be another revenue source for us. We got Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh,
Yeah, but you always have to have a boss.
that's right. I quit.
You can't quit. You're not hired. Time to spruce this pile up. Spruce, pine, spruce. Some people say you shouldn't burn spruce or pine in your furnace or fireplace. There's truth to that and there's not truth to that. It doesn't have a lot of BTUs, which is called British thermal units. If you guys understand the heat source and how much heat it puts off, I couldn't tell you what the BTUs between oak and spruce are, but it's real light and pilthy, so it's good to start a fire. And what I like to do is the first couple fires that we have is that's when we burn the spruce, because we don't need that much heat. Yes, it puts off all sorts of bad stuff into your chimney, and it could cake on and all that. But if you think of it this way, what do they burn out west? What do they burn out in Alaska? They don't have a lot of hardwoods, and they're not cutting down a lot of hardwood trees. They're burning a lot of spruce. So I have no problem burning it. As long as it's completely dry and it's completely fine. If you have a lot of tar in it, if you have a lot of sap, it's probably not the best thing to burn. But if it's dry, it'll do just fine. Could you imagine hand cutting this with a double person saw, then having to split it with an axe? How many cords we need? I feel like that's why people died young. Bugs getting you?
Yeah, flies.
Hey, what's 35 minus 12?
35 minus 12.
Yeah.
23.
23 years
Oh.
I've been doing that. Oh.
What is it? 35 minus 12?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 23.
Oh, yep, see? 23 years I've been doing firewood. Started when I was 12. It's fun stuff. That's some Captain America stuff right there. Ripping that apart. Would you say we are whittling down this pile? Whittle?
Whittle.
Whittle. Wood? Whittle?
We will.
Sometimes my jokes are lost. Be still. Anyway, today was another hodgepodge. I didn't know we were going to work on the wood till later today. But we got to get it out. We got to get that out of the way before we get some more. Like I said, we need to make at least 12 cords of wood this year just to survive the winter. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully it kind of flows. It probably didn't flow this video. Yeah, who cares? We're just making it because it's fun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.